There, it's Laurel Beard, and welcome to a 2-minute tip video with Ellen Hutson. Today we're going to be talking a bit about the Distress Resist spray. In full disclosure, I went over the 2 minutes. I'm sorry. First, let's do some easy layering resist spray. So I've gotten a box. This is an old shoebox. I've lined it with paper towels. I'm placing a stencil over some white cardstock, and then I've got that distress spray, and I'm just spraying it from above. Now it's important to work inside something. Grab an old box, Amazon, your kid's shoebox, whatever, because if this spray disperses anywhere around you, your computer, your phone, your desktop, your lamp, whatever, it's going to stay there forever. You're never going to be able to get it off. So work in a box, people. Okay, so I'm going in with 2 different color of distress inks. I'm going in with fossilized amber and, ooh, what's that red? It'll come to me. Festive berries, festive berries. So I'm going over the dried resist spray. It doesn't take very long. You can also zap it with your heat gun if you want to. And once that's dry, I'm going to go ahead and lay that same stencil over the top again and give it a good spray. And again, let it dry. Also note, you're going to want to wash your stencil off right away. I ran to the kids' bathroom and rinsed it off. If you don't have one, just have a little Tupperware full of water and rest your stencil on the inside because, again, you don't want that resist spray to dry on your stencil. So I'm going back in with a couple more colors, and then I decided to bring in a pink, and this is why. To distress spray, the second time I sprayed it over the yellow. Okay, so it's dry. So now I'm going in with the pink, but you can see that yellow is still kind of shining through. That's because the resist spray has locked in the color underneath. So you are able to really add tons of layering with this spray. Now let's just do some simple spraying. Again, got my hefty shoebox here, and I just went and gave it a couple spritzes. As you can see, I'm going to dry it with my heat tool again, and then I'm just going to take my distress ink pads. This is the pink here, and I'm just smushing it right onto my card here, going in with the fossilized amber now, and just pressing it right into that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water to kind of mix the 2 colors together a little bit. But again, that distress resist spray is going to resist anything I put over it. And because I worked on a white piece of cardstock, the white is what shines through. If I worked on a black or purple, then the purple would shine through. You get it? I hope so. Targeted spraying now. This is where you can get really close and do some spraying. So I got up and I wanted to just have the middle of that card sprayed. So I got real close and I did some sprays and I let it dry, of course. And now I'm adding a couple of colors of distress spray right over the top. And then you'll see that I got all the resist spray right where I wanted it to. So you're able to kind of control where you want it to go with that nozzle. And obviously, the closer you get, the more of a splatter effect you're going to get, which is what I did here. And then last, I wanted to show you that you can use your embossing powder with the resist spray. Again, stencil, shoebox, you got it. Now here, I kept this in the video because this might happen to you. I did not wipe off my distress resist spray, so it got all clogged. So instead of finicking with it, I just poured it into another little mister bottle and it was good to go. So you're going to want to wipe off your little nozzle when you're using it. So anyway, I went ahead and sprayed through the stencil. While the spray is wet, I am kind of putting on a little bit of some Wow embossing powder. This is in a rose gold color. Just strategically placing it where I want. And I have now switched heat guns, just so you know. And that's because this heat gun is from Wow, and it actually has 2 heat settings. It has a super hot and then a not so hot, which basically to me is like an embossing gun on switch number 2 and like the heat it tool on switch number 1. So number 1 is really for kind of drying your watercolors and whatnot, and number 2 is for heat embossing. Because the embossing powder is on the resist spray, it does take longer to go ahead and heat set. I did not want to be blasting my project with that heat gun on full blast because I didn't want to burn through my paper. So I would switch a little bit between the hot, the level 2 and the level 1 setting, and it worked just fine. But anyway, so just melt your embossing powder however you feel like it. Here I am. I'm going in with some more distress spray. I'm using a lot of distress stuff here with just the spray with the tumbled glass and what is the pink called? Oh, listen, I am just like losing my mind these days. Picked raspberry. And then I'm going in on the level 1 setting with the heat gun because, again, that's the setting that's not super duper hot, so it's good for drying your watercolors. And then I'm just going to dry that panel here. And then when you see the texture that this resist spray adds to that embossing powder, it is glorious. It is so pretty. Now again, you can do a lot of things with like colored cardstocks if you want to, because it's trapping the color underneath. The resist spray is going to trap the color underneath. So keep that in mind when you're doing your projects, and you can really create a lot of fun things. Thanks so much for joining us for this 5-minute tip video, and have a great day.